So, welcome back to Understanding Your Emotions and Feelings. Hi, my name is Sim. I'm not a spiritual teacher, I'm simply someone who has spent years exploring the teachings of Eckhart Tolle, Michael Singer, and many great teachers. Most importantly, I am someone who has experienced the same emotional ups and downs that most of us go through. I've struggled with overthinking, emotional reactions, anxiety, and the constant noise of the mind. So, when I talk about these things, I'm not speaking as an expert looking from outside. I'm sharing what I've learned by living through them, by struggling through them. In this series, I will share the ideas and practices that have helped me understand my emotions and mind and myself. My goal is to simplify these teachings into practical steps that we can all follow in everyday life. So this is an attempt to put all of these practices together into a structured course that we can all learn and grow from together. So after all, understanding our mind and our emotions isn't a rocket science, it's a gentle process. It takes patience, it takes awareness, a willingness to observe in ourselves with kindness. It's a beautiful journey, and I'm truly grateful to be walking this path with you. If you haven't watched episode 1, I'll highly recommend watching it first. Just click the link below this video. Everything we are going to explore today builds on that. In the last episode, we learned that an emotion is simply the body's reaction to a thought. An emotion is simply a feeling moving through the body. It meant to rise, stay for a while, and then naturally pass. Just like deer shakes off its fear after escaping danger and quietly goes back to grazing, like nothing happened. But we human beings, we often do the opposite. Instead of feeling the emotion, we avoid it. We distract ourselves. We suppress, push it away. The feeling doesn't leave, it stays inside and slowly becomes the emotional baggage, and it gets stored in the body as a permanent heavy weight. And slowly we forget about it. Over time we start believing that's just who we are. We tell ourselves, I'm just not a very emotional person. But that's not how we were born. We simply learn to hide our feelings. Suppressing or pushing our feelings away, or habit of hiding our feelings, is something we learned as children. The good news is, if we learned it, we can also unlearn it. We weren't born hiding our feelings, it is something we picked up while growing up. But nobody sat us down and taught us to suppress our feelings. It happened slowly. By the end of this episode, we'll understand exactly how we slowly learned to disconnect from our feelings, and why, once we understand it, we can then begin to change it. So let's go back to where it all began. A young child brain is still learning how to handle big emotions. That's why they naturally need a caring adult to help them through those moments. When that big emotion comes up, a child depends completely on an adult to help them through it. In that moment, child looks up to get the answer of two simple questions. Am I safe? Is it okay to feel this? Imagine a little child falls while playing in the garden. Child is very scared, so they naturally start crying. Before they had a chance to feel that emotion, an adult comes and says, "Stop crying, you're fine." Now that leaves the child confused. Let's look at what's happening here. The child feels pain or fear. That's a signal. Normally that feeling would simply be felt, processed, and then pass. But instead, a trusted adult says, "You are fine." Now the child is getting two different messages. I don't feel fine, but the adult is saying, "I'm fine." So the child doesn't question the adult, they question themselves. Slowly they begin to believe maybe what I'm feeling isn't right. They stop trusting their own feelings, their own body. To fit into that wall, the child slowly learns a new rule: I shouldn't trust what I feel. It's better to hide these feelings than to show them. And without realizing, that becomes the way they deal with emotions for the rest of their life. That's why saying things like stop crying, you're fine, that doesn't actually help a child. It only teaches them to hide what they're feeling. And that's a habit many of us still carry as adults. Some other ways in which we children get this programming is by watching adults around us. Children also learn from home they grow up in, even when nobody says a thing. Children don't learn only from what's said to them, they also learn from watching something every day. They absorb. It's just like the child picks up the accent. Nobody sits down and teaches it to them. They simply learn it by growing up in that environment. The same thing happens with emotions. If a child grows up in a home where everybody is tense always and snappy, they slowly learn to watch and be careful for everyone's mood all the time to avoid the confrontation. If they grow up in a family where every problem is hidden behind the doors and everyone pretends and everything is fine, we are fine, they learn something else. They learn that looking okay is more important than actually being okay. This picture shows what's happening. Every time the child responds the same way, that pattern becomes little stronger. Think of it like walking through the same path in a field every single day. The more you walk it, the easier it becomes to follow. The same thing happens in the brain. The more a pattern is repeated, the more automatic it becomes. The more something is repeated, the easier it becomes to do it again. At first, the child may consciously push their feelings away. After years of responding the same way, it becomes automatic. So they don't stop and think, I'm going to hide my feelings now. It just happens. That's why, as adults, we often react before we even realize what's happening. The way we deal with disappointments, criticism, conflict, or rejection today was often learned when we were children. The way we respond to pain at 34 was first practiced when we were 4. Think about how we deal with difficult moments today. Maybe we go quiet. Maybe we try to stay strong for everyone else. And then when someone asks, are you okay? Without even thinking, we say, yeah, I'm fine. Everything is fine. Even when we are not. Most of us don't realize it. But we learned to respond this way long before we were old enough to choose. We were taught to swallow our feelings. It wasn't something we decided. It was simply something we learned. And our parents probably didn't teach us on purpose. Most of them were simply just passing on what they learned from their parents when they were small. That's how these patterns get passed from generations to generations until someone becomes aware of them and chooses to respond differently. Truth is, many of us spend years reacting automatically without even realizing it. The same situations come up and we respond in the same old ways. Not because we choose to, but because that's what we have learned. Our parents weren't trying to hurt us. They were simply doing the best they could with what they had learned themselves. Good news is, we don't have to keep passing these patterns on. Awareness changes everything. Once we see the pattern, we no longer have to keep repeating it. And if something can be learned, it can be unlearned. Little by little, instead of reacting automatically, we begin responding consciously. It starts with something very simple. Think back to the home we grew up in. Can you finish this sentence? So, in my house, the rule was, maybe it was, don't cry. Don't answer back. Children don't talk when grown-ups are talking in the same room. They don't interrupt. Be strong. Keep the peace. Shh. silent, keep the peace. Don't let anyone know how you feel. Just naming that rule is powerful, because once we can see it, we begin to realize it's a learned habit, it's a learned behavior, not who we are. Then notice what happens during the day. The next time someone asks, "Are you okay?" notice how quickly you say, "I'm fine." Don't try to change it. Don't judge yourselves. Just notice it, because the moment you become aware of a habit, it begins to loosen its grip on you. That's where the real change begins. And the good news is, these patterns don't have to be passed on. In the next video, we will explore some simple things parents can do to help children build a healthy relationship with their emotions from the very beginning. We will also add a document to all the different examples at the end of this video. And then in the next video, we will also see how we can come out of this pattern now as adults. Having learned these behaviors, how we can come out of them. So stay tuned, my friends. Thank you for listening.